Hi, I'm Megan.
I'm Ciera.
And I'm Maggie.
And we're from TheCheernastics2.
Welcome to Flipping Friday.
Today we're going to be doing an aerial walkover tutorial, or a front aerial, same thing.
So after we posted our last video, this was like our last tutorial, I guess.
Yeah.
This was the most requested tutorial. So
Also, we're going to start doing polls to see what we should do for our next tutorial. So just go to the poll really quick in the information button, and it has a couple options for what we can do next. And whatever's most popular, then we can do that next.
We're trying to get back into doing tutorials, even though we've done most of them, because a lot of you guys want to see them, so that's what we're going to start doing again. You guys have missed them. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this one.
Before getting started, make sure you start off by stretching. You can do your normal stretching routine, but no matter what, we suggest that you stretch out your back, your ankles, and your wrists. Also, before you try a front aerial or aerial walkover, you should already have a front walkover and a front handspring step out. You not only should have these skills, but you should definitely start off by warming those up before you do anything else. If you have a hard time with either of those skills, you should wait before learning a front aerial. You want to make sure that you're standing up without squatting and you're pushing it through your shoulders. This is the approach that we like to use for our front aerials. It looks kind of funny when you're not actually doing anything into it, but you want to make sure you bring your arms up all the way to your ears so you get a lot of power. You have a big hurdle and you step your foot down powerfully, and then that way you can also swing your leg back and have the most power. We then decided to do the approach that we just showed you and try and keep our hands off the ground as long as possible, but we still put them down if we had to. I'd recommend doing this, or at least trying it. It's a little awkward, so if you don't like it, don't feel like you have to keep doing it, but it's definitely helpful and there's no harm in trying it. Alright, next you're going to want to go ahead and try your front aerial just to kind of see where you're at. Try not putting your hands down. If you do it, great. If you don't, then we have more tips, I promise. This is just going to help you see where you're at. If you're landing on your bottom, that's probably because you are making the #1 mistake when you're learning your front aerial, which means that you are not looking at the ground. As you can see, the one on the left is the front aerial and the one on the right is just a step out. You want the same form in both, which means you're going to want to look at the ground so your back arches. Otherwise, if you don't look at the ground, you're not going to be able to arch. So what we decided to do was take a piece of tape and put it on our mat, so that way we had something to look at. Don't worry if you don't necessarily fix it right away. This isn't just going to be like a magical thing, but it's going to help you retrain yourself, so you're like making sure you have something to look at and you're trying to look at it for as long as possible. If you still are not landing, have someone record you doing it in slow motion, because you're going to be able to tell way better what you're actually doing and what you're not doing. So here's the video you guys just saw, see a record of mine. So I have a good approach, everything looks good, and I'm starting by looking at the tape, which is great, that's what you want to do, and I'm driving my heels, but you can see right here I'm already not looking at the ground, which means that I'm not arching, and then I get in this position, and there's no way I'm going to be able to stand up when I'm in that position. So here it is again. There's nothing wrong with my approach. It really is just like the key of like, I'm not looking at the ground long enough, I'm not arching my back long enough, which means that it's going to be very hard for me to stand up. So I have to train myself to look at the ground longer. Having a spotter is also really helpful for a front aerial, so make sure you do a step out just to make sure the spotter can see if they're on the right side. They want to be on your good side. And then all they have to do is push your back up. It helps you arch, it helps you guys look at the ground longer. So a spotter is really helpful and it gives you an extra boost. And then really after that, the main problem is if you're not looking at the ground, you have to look at the ground. You have to train yourself to look at the ground longer. I mean, right here you can see that I'm looking at the ground all the way up until my first leg touches the ground. And that's what's going to get your back to arch, and then that's how you're going to be able to do it. And then of course at the end, just pull your arms up by your ears to finish. We wish you guys the best of luck, and hopefully you can get your front aerial soon.
If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and comment down below if this was helpful.
since it is Flipping Friday, that means there's a new TC2 crew member of the week. So this week's TC2 crew member is...
If you'd like a chance to be next week's TC2 crew member, all you have to do is hashtag TC2 crew member on a picture of you doing cheer gymnastics on Instagram. Also, if you want to subscribe to our channel, either click down below or click our icon over there. If you want to buy something from our merchandise shop, click the t-shirt to go to our website.
And if you want to watch our last video, just click right there.
And we'll see you next week. Bye!